Happy Halloween.
Hi, I'm Chris May, host of This Day in Weather History, a podcast from the Weather Network in Canada. This week has been brought to us by Tourism Ireland, where 3,000 years of Halloween history awaits you. Happy Halloween! Today on this special edition episode, we will learn about the ancient origins of Halloween in Ireland while looking at some standout weather events around the world that have either helped or hindered ghosts and goblins on this special spooky day. Halloween is a holiday celebrated each year on October 31st in many countries. The tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. The evening was known as All Hallows' Eve, and later it was called Halloween. Over time, Halloween evolved into a day of activities like trick-or-treating, carving jack-o'-lanterns, festive gatherings, donning costumes, and eating treats, a lot like what they did back in the old days. November 1st marked the end of the summer and the harvest, and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with death over the millennia in all ancient myth and lore, dating as far back as ancient Sumer and Babylon, and long before even the Egyptians. The Celts believed that on the night before the new year, that was October 31st, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. And with this metaphysical portal between the two realms now open, they of course believed naturally that the ghosts of the dead would return to the earth. Pretty cool, huh? So that's why they would get together and have these festivals with bonfires to try to make sure that those ghosts did not come in. That's a bit of fun history and how Ireland plays into the beginning of the day. But how, over the centuries, has it been marked by days in weather history? 1846. The Donner Pass tragedy. There was an early snowstorm in the Sierra Nevada mountains that piled 5 feet deep with around 10-meter drifts. That's 30 to 40-foot drifts. It trapped 87 pioneers. Of that, only 47 survived. 1876. In what is now modern-day Bangladesh, they were completely overwhelmed by a massive and deadly storm surge measuring what was written to be waves as high as 10 to 50 feet. That's over 15 meters. It is remembered as the worst cyclone to move across the Bay of Bengal during the 19th century, devastating the northeast coast of India and taking with it an estimated 100,000 lives. 1884. It was a particularly soggy, wet month of October and a brutal, wet Halloween in Brownsville, Texas, when they reported 15 3/4 inches or 400 millimeters of rain for the month. That's nearly 5 times its monthly normal. 1903, Arica, Chile. Located in the Atacama Desert, they're known to be dry, obviously, but they were just about to start a rainless period that would last 14 years. It was the longest dry spell ever recorded in the world, and it did not end until January 1918. 1984. A nearby tornado was the cause of a small single-engine plane crash south of Topeka, Kansas on this date in weather history. 5 people were killed, including all 3 on board and 2 additional people who were on the ground. But because the locals were huddled safely taking refuge from the tornado, they thought the horrific crashing outside was flying debris and cars and trucks being tossed about. As a result, no one investigated the crash site until the next day, November 1st. It was only then when they realized the grim reality. 1987. Halloween was a wet one in the American West. Heavy rain in Southern California resulted in numerous mudslides. This was the cause of several auto accidents resulting in 3 deaths and 25 injuries. In that incident, the affected Mount Wilson received over 3 inches, that's over 76 millimeters of rain in under 24 hours. In a happy result of this deluge, however, Yakima, Washington had suffered their own record-long 103-day dry spell, and that came to a climactic end on this Halloween day with that very same rainfall. And finally, 1991. Those from the U.S. upper Midwest will remember the Great Halloween Megastorm. It was a severe winter storm that pounded the state of Minnesota the hardest. It lasted 3 days, and by the time it was all over on November 2nd, Duluth had recorded 37 inches of snow, that's 94 centimeters. Minneapolis, 28 inches, or 71 centimeters. International Falls, 18 inches, or 46 centimeters. And in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, over 11 inches or 28 centimeters, and they did that in only 24 hours. For Duluth and Minneapolis, the snow amount set new all-time records for the greatest amount of snow in a single storm. And this all happened on this day in Halloween weather history. I do hope you enjoyed today's program, and once again, thanks to our sponsor this week, Tourism Ireland, where 3,000 years of Halloween history awaits you. Tell you what, tomorrow is November 1st, and it is the first day of the meteorological winter. For this, we're going to look at a winter-style storm that knocked out the power for close to 1 million in Quebec. Yeah, kids back on November 1st, 2019 got a bonus day to sort out all their chocolate from their chips. It's on this day in weather history tomorrow with me, your host, Chris May. Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween.